Hello student. In previous video we discussed about 19 number question. Now in this video we will start from 20 number question, section D, question number 20. Explain the second law of motion with the example. Here we have to write down the second law as well as we have to explain the example which is related to second law of motion. Let's see answer in detail. The statement of second law of motion that the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to applied unbalanced force in the direction of force. This is the statement of second law that the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to applied unbalanced force in the direction of the force. If we want to describe it in a mathematical state, then we can write down that the change in momentum is equal to, means the P is equal to mv minus mu. So we can write down that m is common because the mass of the object is same. So the m in bracket v minus u, and if you want to count the rate of change in momentum, then we should apply the time. So the change for the changing of the momentum, how many time is required? So for that, the equation is become a P is equal to m in bracket v minus u divided by t. And we know that v minus u divided by t is equal to acceleration a. So the P is equal to ma. That is the second law of motion. Let's see in detail mathematically expression. Suppose the mass of an object is m kg. The initial velocity of an object is equal to u meter per second, whereas the final velocity of an object is v meter per second. So for the initial momentum, the formula it is become a P1 is equal to mu, and for the final momentum P2 is equal to m into v. And for that, the change in the momentum is equal to final momentum minus initial momentum. So the mv minus mu. So here we can take m common in bracket v minus u. So the rate of the change of momentum is equal to change in momentum divided by time taken. So it is become m in bracket v minus u divided by t. And according to the second law of motion, this rate of the change in momentum that is directly proportional to the force. So instead of writing P, we can write down that F is equal to, or F is directly proportional to m in bracket v minus u into divided by t. As we know that v minus u divided by t is equal to a. A means acceleration. And that is the, from the first equation we can write down. If we are keeping the value over here, so it become a F is proportional to the ma. So for the removing of this proportional, we have to introduce some constant. So here we are introducing a constant k, and which is a value 1 is assumed, then the F is become a m into a. So the F is equal to k ma. But in the constant value, if you are taking a 1, then F is equal to 1 into m into a is equal to m into a. So for that, the SI unit is equal to kg into meter per second square, or also you can write down the Newton. The 1 Newton means when an acceleration of 1 meter per second square is seen in the body of the mass 1 kg, then we can say that the applied force on the body is a 1 Newton. Now, the first law states that if the external force is become a zero, then the moving body keep the moving with the same velocity, or the body at the rest continues to be a rest. So you can take it as an example too, that if the body is in a moving state, if you are not applying any external force in it, then it is keep moving, and if you are not applying any force on that, then it should be in a rest condition. F is equal to 0, so we know that F is equal to m in bracket v minus u divided by t. So F is equal to m into a. So the body is moving with the initial velocity u, that is become a 0. So the m in bracket v minus u divided by t is equal to 0. So the v minus u is also become a 0. So in that condition we can write down that v is equal to u, means the final velocity is also same. So we can consider it that the body that is moving with the initial velocity, means a constant velocity we can consider. The same things when the body is in a rest condition. So in such a case, u is also become a 0 and the v is also become 0. So the body will continue to be a rest one. Let's see now the next question. Question number 21. A motorcyclist drives from A to B with a uniform speed of 30 km per hour, and it is returned back with the speed 20 km per hour. Find its average. Here, the motorcyclist drives from A to B with a uniform speed of 30 kilometer per hour, and then it is returned back. But here now the speed that is become a 20 kilometer per hour. So in this condition we have to find out average speed. So as we know the formula of average speed, so before write down the formula, let's write down the given things. Let distance between A and B is d, then the time taken by the motorcyclist with the uniform speed, that is 30 km per hour in t1 time. So the distance divided by speed is equal to d divided by 30 hours. Again then they are written with the 20 km speed, uniform speed. So in such a condition, if time taken, suppose it is a t2, then is equal to that become a d divided by 20 hours. So now we have to find out both average velocity in the both the condition. So the average speed of motorcyclist is equal to a total distance traveled by the motorcycle divided by a total time taken. So from above both the equation, keep the value over here. So the d plus d divided by d divided by 30 plus d divided by 20 kilometer per hour. So d plus d, 2 into 30 into 20 divided by 30 plus 20. Here the LCM is taken. So it become a 2 into 30 into 20 divided by 30 plus 20 kilometer per hour. So the answer is 24 kilometer per hour. So the average speed of the motorcyclist is 24 kilometer per hour. Now let's see the next question. Question number 22, that explain the nerve cell with the diagram. Here we have to draw the diagram of nerve cell, and then after we have to describe its part. As we know that the nerve cell is divided into mainly three parts: dendrites, cell body, and the axon. That parts we have to draw and describe. Let's see. Let's see the answer. The main function of nerve cell, or you can say the neuron in the human body, is to carry the nerve impulse which is come from the any parts of the body, and the neurons, or you can say the nerve cell, are connected with the nerve cell where the electric nerve impulse are originated. Then this nerve cell is pass this message and proceed on that and then transmit and received. Let's see the figure of the nerve cell. This is the figure of nerve cell. This hair-like structure is known as a dendrites, and this dendrites is responsible for the collecting of the nerve impulse. This cell is known as the cell body, and in the cell body there is nucleus is present as well as the cytoplasm is present. Here from the dendrites the electrical impulse is carried out to the cell body. After the reaching to cell body, this electrical impulse is passed to the thin sheet like structure that is called the axon. This is called the axon. And in the axon, there is thin sheet-like structure is there that's called the myelin sheet. And after this axon, this electrical impulse is reached to the end point of the neurons that called as a terminal end. Then after again the next neuron is present. The next neuron's dendrites is again carry the chemical electrical impulse, but between the two neurons there is some gap is there. That gap is known as a synapse, and in that gap the liquid is filled, and the function of that liquid it's converted this electrical impulse into the chemical impulse. Again it is collected by the dendrites, and dendrites converted this chemical signal into the electrical signal. How like this the all the message is passed from the one place to another place. Let's see the next question. Draw the well labeled diagram of animal cell. Here we have to draw the diagram of the animal cell, and also we have to label all the organelles, all the things which is present in the animal cell. Let's see the figure. Here you can see this is the figure of the animal cell. This is called the nucleus. This is called the nucleus. This is outer portion, outer line, outer membrane that is known as the cell membrane. Nucleus and the cell membrane. Between that, whatever the part is there where the organelles is present, that is called the cytoplasm. This is a cytoplasm. Here it is mentioned with the gray color. Then in the cytoplasm, there is all the organelles are present. Let's see the organelle. This is called the rough ER. ER means the endoplasmic reticulum. This is the smooth ER. That means the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. This is the ribosome. It's a Golgi body. Then mitochondria, vacuoles, where the little bit whatever the food is there that's stored. There's a nuclear membrane, a membrane which is covered the nucleus, that is called the nuclear membrane. It's a nucleus. This is a lysosome, and this is a cell membrane. It is a centrome. This centrosome is only present in the plant cell only. It is not present in animal. It is only present in animal cell. It is not in a plant cell, and this is called the cytoplasm. So these all are the organelles. This is the structure of the animal cell. Here your section section C is completed, and in next video we will see the section D. The section D that is of 4 marks each question, means the section D total carries 12 marks. So that we will discuss in the next video. After the solution part, we will carry forward our SEM 2 syllabus. Thank you.